What is going on, guys? Ready Designs here, and today is the pen-tooled logo that I made for myself up in the top left corner of my desktop background. I will show you guys a little bit more of a better picture of it. But yeah, today's just going to be, basic on how to make this logo. It's, right here, as you guys see, my logo. I pen-tooled this by myself. Didn't have anybody else do it for me. I basically kind of took a few of my favorite graphic designer of all time, which is Strats, took his looking logo and I made it my own. And this is kind of what it looked like. And this is there was alternate versions of this before. For instance, the D was not like this, and the E was not like that. It was a lot different before. So, but this RAT was always the same. And I hope you guys enjoy this. This is going to be a very tough commentary slash tutorial for me to explain. But what you're going to want to do is just make sure you open up a blank document just like we did in our prior video. And we're just going to start out with a dark gray background and create a new layer, of course. Alright, and this is where we start. Now, most of you guys, as you guys can see, most of what this is it is just shapes. There are many ways to make these shapes. Now, for instance, there are logos out there. I can only think of one, which is Reptile's logo. That is actually just a bunch of rectangles, crisscrossed out, and that's one way to do it, is using a rectangle and just putting them at angles. But the way I do it is I pen tool everything perfectly. So today we're going to just be doing just the word rate, I guess, or rail or something. I'm just going to freehand it. So what we're going to start out with is we'll just give you guys a little bit of insight on the pen tool just before we start. The pen tool, of course, is you can make it a very straight tool, very straight edge, or you can make it a very curvy. And you can curve it, and you can do all these different things with it when it comes to curving, making circles, different ovals, and you can make circles and make it straight edge at the same time. Now today we're just going to be using straight edges, of course, because this is how you get this outcome, of course, right here. This little thing right there. And yeah, so what we're going to want to do is make sure you open a new document, and we're just going to select our pen tool, and we're just going to create the letter R, okay? Now, this is what helps me. I just take a text tool, put an R out, make it, pretty big. We'll make it a lot bigger than that. 150. No, maybe we'll do 200. There we go. And what you're going to do is you're just going to, so if we're going to do the word rate, okay, or we do the word dare, we do the word care, we do the, all these different other words. There are a lot of, and I do have to say before you guys get into doing these type of pen tool logos, there are names and there are letters that are very tough to do with this. Now, that's where the unique and the creativity comes in to making these logos. So what I like to do is just type my name out. So if we're going to do rate, or rated, of course, I'm just going to recreate my logo because I want to just really show you guys, the recreation of it. And we're just going to write it out. So basically what this does is it shows you each letter and what they look like. So you can recreate it in a way that looks like an R, but it's not an R. You know what I'm saying? In your own font. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start out and we're just going to make an R. So of course an R kind of has that far right side thing, and we're just going to create that, and that, that looks pretty close to an R, and we're just going to fill it, and that gives us a little bit of something like this. Now what else we're going to do is we're going to keep creating new layers. Now every letter you make pretty much, or shape that is separated from the other one, or other shapes, create new layers. We're just going to start right here, and we're just going to, I use the shift tool to make sure that my angles are perfect, guys. So shift makes all of your angles 100% precise. And here is an R. I'm going to make sure that all of these are perfect angles, like that. And I'm going to cut the parts of these to make it look a little bit more cool. Whoops. Make it a little bit more stylish, of course. And we're just going to basically, keep creating letters. So an A. So we're going to just make something, make sure the proportions of, how thick the letters are all the same. Tends to be something that I struggle on sometimes. Of course, no one's perfect, but, tends to be something I struggle on, of course. And here's an A. Just fill path with everything. And after all of these things, of course, guys, you are going to have to make sure that all of your letters are the same on the bottom as they are on the top. I can definitely make this a little bit thicker. And most of these logos, guys, are all about cuts and slits, just like making a text logo concept, basic one, out of just a regular font. Everything is slits, everything is little adjustments to stuff, that type of thing. Now this is just kind of my type of ways to make rates. So an R and an A, as you guys can see. We're just going to go to a T. Now, there's so many different ways to make T's. So in this one, I wanted to maybe screw around a little bit more. So so the letter T, in my logo, it kind of looks like a 7. And for most of you, some of them are like, oh yeah, that just looks cool. Well, there's a reason behind I have the 7. The 7 was actually there because that is my favorite number. So yes, it is actually something really, really cool that I incorporated into my logo that some of you guys didn't know, but yeah, that's one of the reasons I incorporated into my logo, is because it is my favorite number, and it is something that, I myself happen to love. So yeah, and that's one way you can make a T. Of course, the top part is a little too thick, guys, so you look at me, and I'm a perfectionist, even though no one is perfect. And I like to, keep things very even. Let's make sure this is... And my phone's going off. Okay. So basically what we're going to want to do here is, as you guys can see, is basically your lettering needs to be perfect every single time. So what you can do for that is, just of course go by one letter, and as you guys can see, it's a little off. T's a little taller, so delete that. And here's the T, and there's rate, as you guys can see. And we're just going to click new layer. And in my logo, you guys see I have just 3 little rectangle parallelogram looking things. We're not going to use that in this one. I think I'm going to do something a little different. What I wanted to do, and maybe we'll do something the same actually. With creating letters like this, guys, E's and stuff like that, and fonts that I mean, I don't really like to make people these logos, and people always ask me, yo, make these logos, make these logos. I would make them for other people, but I just happen to get lucky that my name looks good in it. There's some people's names that, like I said, that just don't look good, and yeah, I don't know. Um, so here, let's merge. I'm gonna start merging layers. So here's the R. I always label all of my stuff. T and E. Okay. Now the D. Now here, you guys. I mean, here's rate. You know, you can just call it a day. Now in my logo, I have basically, it looks like a U, but not really what I was going for. I kind of went for a lowercase d type thing there, but now, I mean, I'm just going to screw around here, see what, looks good. And that's all this logo concept is it's trial and error. One of the biggest guys out there, I think, to be honest, that makes insane logo concepts is the guy named Logo Concepts. He is the guy. He left a comment on my other video. If you guys haven't seen, just go on the other video. He left 2 comments, and he's one of the guys that you guys really need to check out when it comes to, these cool-looking icons. He knows what he's doing. I'm not, like, the guy to go to when it comes to these insane logo concepts. I made all mine, but they're not as complex as his, shall I say. If I sat down for hours and hours at a time, I could probably come up with some cool things, but it's not really something that I love to do. So what we're going to do is I think I'm going to start halfway, and I'm just going to actually going to make a cool looking D this way. Let's see if people... Ooh, I don't like that. Like I said, guys, all trial and error. Don't be afraid to mess up either, because trust me, there's been times where I have just messed up tremendously. And I don't really notice it sometimes, and people point it out, and they're like, oh, rated, you did something wrong. And I was like, oh, really? I didn't really notice. And that's kind of where it comes back. But, yeah, we'll just actually, I think I'm going to do something right here. No, I don't like that. But yeah, a lot of cool looking things. But as you see, guys, I'm just making basic straight lines and seeing what looks good, seeing what looks bad, And I actually kind of like that. And then we're going to make this perfect. And I'm going to zoom in to get a perfect selection, delete it, and that's pretty, pretty much something as, something like a text logo that I make. I make these guys for people that are really, really wanting them for people, or like from me. If you really don't, I don't sit here and make these, like I said. I focus on some of my more important stuff, of course, but this is something I love to do on the side hand. So, yeah, this is kind of something that I did real quick. And basically says rated. It doesn't really flow too well, to be honest. I really don't like it. But, looks kind of close. But, yeah, guys, so here it says rate. If you really want, I can make another replica of my actual logo, which is right here. It's just something basic like this. And there we go. My logo. Somewhat, but not really. Just working on it so it's precise. And that is the closest I'll get to my logo right now. I have a lot of stuff that I could definitely edit, and of course, gone through rough drafts, and I probably will be creating new logos for myself in the long run. But yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just a lot of shapes, and that's what it is, guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. But I wanted to do something other than this. I will be gone. I'm leaving Wednesday, and I will not be back to the following Monday. So I wanted to do some sort of commentary upload type thing where while I'm over there I wanted to do something. So what I wanted you guys to do is leave a bunch of comments. I want to do a question and answer thing. So any question you guys have, make sure they're relevant, of course. Don't sit here and asking me about personal things that don't matter. If you do ask, I'm just going to ignore, of course. But ask some questions. If you guys have any interests, anything that you would love to hear about me, about my graphics, about my life, about interests in, sports, all these other things that I have done in my life, please, leave comments. So, of course, thank you guys all for 9K. For 10K, again, I will be giving out a massive graphics pack. It's going to have everything in it. You guys are going to love it. And like I said, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and like the shit out of this video. I'm Rated Designs, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.